markets across the world. Today, we have a team of around 2,000 world-class scientists working in state-of-the-art R&D centers spread across the globe. We consider it paramount that wherever in the world we research, develop, manufacture, test or distribute our products, quality will always be of the highest standard. At Sun, there is no substitute for quality. Based on our core values of reliability, quality, innovation, trust and consistency, we are able to deliver on our vision of reaching people and touching lives globally as a leading provider of valued medicines. And, much like the star our planet depends on for life, we will rise and shine every day to the benefit of all mankind. Sun Pharma. Reaching people, touching lives. R&D, beginning 3 decades ago, enabled us to make technology our key differentiator and develop a basket of robust yet technically complex products designed for diverse markets across the world. Today, we have a team of around 2,000 world-class scientists working in state-of-the-art R&D centers spread across the globe. We consider it paramount that wherever in the world we research, develop, manufacture, test or distribute our products, quality will always be of the highest standard. At Sun, there is no substitute for quality. Based on our core values of reliability, quality, innovation, trust and consistency, we are able to deliver on our vision of reaching people and touching lives globally as a leading provider of valued medicines. And, much like the star our planet depends on for life, we will rise and shine every day to the benefit of all mankind. Sun Pharma. Reaching people.
Good afternoon. I, Sunil Ajmera, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, welcome all the members and Mr. Israel Mako, Chairman, and the other board members of the company at this 29th Annual General Meeting of Sun Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. In compliance with circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Securities and Exchange Board of India, this meeting is being conducted through video conferencing or other audio-visual means. For the benefit of all, let me introduce to you the directors who have joined this meeting. Mr. Israel Mako, Chairman of the company, is attending this meeting from Israel. Mr. Dilip S. Sanghvi, Managing Director of the company and Chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and Risk Management Committee. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Mr. Shailesh T. Desai, Full-Time Director, is attending from Mumbai. Mr. Kalyan Sundaram Subramanian, Full-Time Director, is attending this meeting from Bengaluru. Mr. Sudhir Vivalia, Non-Executive Director, is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Mr. Gautam Doshi, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee and Stakeholders Relationship Committee, is attending this meeting from London. Ms. Rekha Sethi, Independent Director and Chairperson of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, is attending from Delhi. Mr. Vivek Chand Sehgal, Independent Director, is attending this meeting from Dubai. Dr. Pawan Goenka, Independent Director, is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Ms. Rama Bijapurkar, Independent Director, is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Apart from the directors, Mr. C.S. Muralidharan, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ashok Gupta, Compliance Officer, have also joined this meeting from Mumbai. Other officers of the company have also joined the meeting through video conferencing from various locations. The representatives from SRBC and CU LLP, statutory auditors, and from KJB and CU LLP, secretarial auditors, and from BM Sharma and Associates, cost auditors of the company have also joined this meeting. All the members attending this meeting through video conferencing are being placed on mute by default to avoid any background noise during the meeting. Those shareholders who have registered to speak at the meeting will be given an opportunity to speak and express their views after all the resolutions as per notice of AGM have been placed. In case the shareholders who have registered to speak are not available at the time of their turn, the next shareholder in the queue will be given a chance to speak. The shareholders who speak are requested to express their views within a time limit of 3 minutes. Members who have not registered themselves as speakers but have any queries may write to the company and we shall suitably reply to them in due course. With that, I now hand over to our chairman, Mr. Israel Mako. Sir, you are mute. So you are, please unmute. No, we can't listen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Dear shareholders, good afternoon. I hope you all are safe and doing well. I welcome all the shareholders to this 29th annual general meeting of the company, which is being conducted through video conferencing and other video visual means. I also welcome my colleagues on the board. We have requisite quorum present to conduct the proceeding of this meeting. The company has taken adequate and feasible steps to enable shareholders to participate in the meeting through video conferencing and cast their vote by electronic means. The company has appointed Central Depository Services, CDSL, to provide facility of video conferencing and e-voting. All the books, records, registers as required under the Companies Act 2013 and other applicable laws and documents referred to in the notice of the 29th Annual General Meeting are available for inspection electronically during the meeting. I would like to inform the shareholders that if at any time during the meeting, due to technical issues, the connection from my side is interrupted, Mr. Dilip Shangvi, Managing Director, will chair the proceedings and till my connection is restored. In case Mr. Shangvi's connection is also interrupted at that time, then Mr. Gautam Doshi, Director, will chair the meeting. As the electronic copy of the annual report for the year 2021, along with the notice convening this 29th Annual General Meeting, has already been emailed to the members of the company whose email ID were available. With your permission, I should take the notice of the 29th Annual General Meeting as read. The auditor's report on the standalone and consolidated financial statement for the financial year 2021 does not contain any qualifications, observations, or comments on financial transactions or matters which have any adverse effect on the functioning of the company. Accordingly, the said report is not required to be read out at the meeting as provided under the Companies Act 2013. The remarks stated in the secretarial audit report for the financial year 2021 are self-explanatory and do not require any further explanation. The secretarial audit report does not contain any other qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks which have any material adverse effect on the company. In accordance with the provision of the Companies Act 2013, I now request Mr. Ashok Butta to read out the relevant paragraph of Secretarial Audit Report for the financial year 2021.
Sure, sir. The company has complied with the provisions of the Act, rules, regulations, guidelines, etc. mentioned above. However, in respect of compliances relating to listed commercial papers in pursuance of SEBI CP circulars, namely, A, while the company has fulfilled the payment obligations as per the redemption schedule, there are instances of delay in filing of certificates as required under para 2.4 of Annexure 2 of SEBI CP circulars, which was inadvertent delay as informed to us. And B, the company has annually submitted the quarterly certificates required under para 4 of Annexure 2 of SEBI CP circulars, presuming that these compliances can be done annually. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Dear fellow shareholders, on behalf of the Board of Directors, I welcome all of you to the 29th AGM of your company. This meeting is being held virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I hope you and your family members are safe and in sound health. The pharmaceutical industry is playing an important role, is at the front of the fight against the global COVID-19 pandemic. From adapting to changing dynamics to ensuring business continuity, the industry quickly responded to the challenges of the global pandemic so that patients continue to get access to their medications. Pharmaceutical companies have also supplied multiple drugs used in treatment of COVID-19 and associated ailments. Some companies have developed COVID-19 vaccines in record time. As Sun Pharma, we were quick to respond to the challenges of the pandemic and adapt to the new normal. We have adopted a multi-pronged approach to overcome the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. The company is focused on 1. Ensuring continuous supply of medicine and maintaining continuity of manufacturing and global supply chain while adhering to all COVID-19 safety protocols. 2. Increased focus on use of technology tools to facilitate business. 3. Focus on the safety and well-being of employees, including vaccinating them and their immediate family members. 4. Enhancing supply of multiple therapeutics used in treatment of COVID-19 and associated ailments. Donation of COVID-19 medicines and other items like PPE kits, masks, sanitizers, gloves, and food items, etc. Let me now share some highlights of the global pharmaceutical industry. The global pharmaceutical market is estimated to reach about $1.6 trillion by 2025, growing at a compounded rate of approximately 3 to 6%. This excludes the spend on COVID-19 vaccination. The main growth drivers will be sustained growth in the emerging market and the consistent launch of high-end specialty innovative products in developed markets. The US, the largest pharmaceutical market, is expected to grow at about 2 to 5 percent CAGR to US dollars 605 to 635 billion dollars by 2025, with the growth driven mainly by new innovative specialty products. The generic market in the US will continue to be an important part of the overall effort to control healthcare costs. Given your company's strong presence in the US generics market and the niche presence in some of specialty segments, it is well positioned to exploit the growth opportunity in the US market. The Indian pharmaceutical market is estimated to reach about US dollars 28 to 32 billion by 2025, recording 8 to 10% compounded growth. Rising affordability, growing incidence of chronic ailments, increasing access to modern medicines, and improving health insurance coverage will be the key drivers of this growth. Sun Pharma's top position in India and its brand equity will help to leverage the benefits from this opportunity. The overall pharmaceutical market in emerging markets, including India, is estimated to grow at 7 to 10% CAGR to US dollars 415 to 445 billion by 2025. Sun Pharma is one of the largest Indian companies operating in this market and is well positioned to exploit this opportunity. Let me now discuss Sun Pharma's business and review some of our key opportunities, challenges, and steps ahead. In the financial year 2021, governments globally were forced to resort to stringent lockdowns and restrictions to prevent the spread of the pandemic, which were gradually relaxed in the second half of the year. These restrictions resulted in temporary closure of doctor clinics, travel restrictions, and significant reduction in patients' visits to the doctor's clinic. Non-critical treatments and elective surgeries were postponed. This led to lower demand for pharmaceutical products in the first half of the year, and gradual recovery was witnessed only in the second half. As governments gradually lifted the lockdown restriction, it is against this backdrop that we reported a 2.5% growth in our overall revenues, which stood at 331 billion rupee for the year. The comparable previous year, 1920, included a one-time special business in the US, and hence, while the US business showed a decline in all our other businesses have recorded growth for the full year, despite the challenges related to the global COVID-19 pandemic. Sun Pharma India business has done well with 6.5% growth for the year, outperforming the average industry growth of 2.1%, driven by our leading presence in chronic segments coupled with our strong brand equity with doctors. Given our distribution to doctors' reach, we continue to be a partner of choice for potential in-licensing of new innovative products from global multinational companies. During the year, we completed the field force expansion in the India business, which further enhances our reach. While our US sales for the year were lower by 4%, but as stated in previous year, we had a one-time business opportunity, and hence the numbers are not truly comparable. We are enthusiastic by the momentum of our global specialty business, which grew by 11% to $475 million during the year, despite the various challenges resulting from global pandemic. We grew by 5% in emerging markets and by 6.6% in the rest of the world markets during the year. Sun Pharma's API business grew by about 2% this year. The API business is of strategic importance since it gives us the benefit of vertical integration and ensures consistency of supply chain of critical inputs. We spent approximately 21 billion rupees on R&D, which accounted for about 6.5% of our sales. We continue to be disciplined in identifying future R&D projects for the US generics market, and the focus is on developing complex generics. The company continues to fortify its R&D capabilities with focused investment to develop its long-term specialty and complex generics pipeline. Let me now update you on our specialty business. In a year which had multiple challenges due to the global pandemic, we are happy to witness an 11% growth in our global specialty sales. The lockdown restrictions in the US resulted in a reduction in patient footfalls and a postponement of certain treatments. This impacted our specialty sales in the first half, including sales of Ilumya, Cequa, and Nebula. It also impacted the ramp-up of Absorica LD, which we had launched in February 2020. The lockdown restrictions were gradually lifted in the second half, resulting in a recovery in our specialty sales. We undertook multiple initiatives during the year as part of our efforts to build the specialty business. These include: 1. Ilumya launch in Japan. 2. During the year, we also reiterated Ilumya's potential through presentation of long-term clinical data at global medical conferences. 3. Positive long-term clinical analysis for Odomzo and Nebulan were also presented at medical conferences. We have also continued with our efforts of enhancing the specialty R&D pipeline. Currently, the pipeline currently has 4 molecules undergoing clinical trials. It includes Ilumya, which is currently undergoing phase 3 clinical trials for psoriatic arthritis. We commenced phase 2 trials of STD-044 for atopic dermatitis and moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. We phase 2 trials for MM2 for knee pain in patients with symptomatic knee osteoarthritis have also been initiated. Our GLP-1R agonist has entered phase 1 trial for diabetes. The focus areas for our specialty portfolio include dermatology, ophthalmology, and oncology. The strategy is to build a robust portfolio of branded patented products for global markets. Now, I will briefly talk about our initiative for improving overall productivity. We continue to focus on improving manufacturing efficiencies, optimizing costs, rationalizing generics R&D investments, and reducing interest costs. During the year, we have reduced our consolidated debt by about $580 million, and consequently, our interest costs have also come down. Although it is difficult to give a specific business guidance, given the uncertainty due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I am happy to share an overall outlook of your company. All our businesses are well positioned, and our endeavors will be to grow the overall business. Our strategy of developing the global specialty business as an additional growth engine has started delivering with the ramp-up in specialty revenues. We expect this momentum to continue over the next few years. We will continue our R&D investments in developing the complex generics pipeline, as well as in building our specialty pipeline in the coming years. We will continue with our efforts towards improving the overall return ratios of the company. We are grateful to our talented and dedicated employees who have put in extraordinarily efforts during the past year to ensure business continuity. We also thank all our frontline warriors for their selfless and tireless efforts in fighting the pandemic. We are also grateful to our board of directors for their guidance and support in these uncertain times. We thank all our other stakeholders, including our customers, vendors, business partners, the local community, and various regulators for their constant support. Last but not least, we thank all our shareholders, and we hope that you will continue to extend your confidence in us. Thank you very much. And we now continue with the proceedings, and as the members are aware, as per requirements of the SEBI listing regulations 2015 and the Company Act 2013, remote e-voting facility was made available from August 28 to August 30, 21 to the members to cast their votes on each of the resolutions as set out in the notice of the meeting. Mr. Chintan Goswami, partner of KJB, and failing him, Mr. Alpes Kumar Panchal of KJB, practicing company secretaries, Mumbai, are the scrutinizers for the e-voting process. I shall now read out the resolutions for the items set out in the ordinary business in the notice of this annual general meeting. Item number 1A, adopting of the audited standalone financial statement of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 21, and the reports of the board of directors and auditors thereon. Resolved that the audited standalone financial statements of the company and the report of the board of directors and auditors thereon for the financial year ended March 31st, 21, be and are hereby received, considered, and adopted. Item number 1B, adoption of the audited consolidated financial statement of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 21. Resolved that the audited consolidated financial statement of the company and the report of the auditors thereon for the financial year ended March 31st, 21, be and are hereby received, considered, and adopted. I now move to item number 2 relating to confirmation of interim dividend and declaration of final dividend for the financial year 2021. The board of directors of the company had in February 21 declared an interim dividend of rupees 5.50 per equity share of 1 rupee each. The interim dividend was paid on 17 February 2021 to all the shareholders as on the record date of 10 February 21, except for 9,25,000 equity shares on which the dividend was waived to be received by one shareholder amounting to rupees 50,87,500 only. Further, the board of directors had proposed final dividend of rupees 2 per equity shares for 2021. I now request anyone from the secretarial team to read out the proposed resolution for dividend.
Resolved that the interim dividend of rupees 5.50 per equity share of rupee 1 each, as declared by the board of directors at their meeting held on January 29, 2021 for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 and paid on 239 crore 84 lakhs 9,970 equity shares of rupee 1 each, amounting to rupees 1,319 crore 12 lakhs 54,835 be and is hereby confirmed. Resolved further that the final dividend of rupees 2 per equity share of rupee 1 each, as recommended by the board of directors at their meeting held on May 27, 2021 for the financial year ended 31st March 2021 on 239 crore 93 lakhs 34,970 equity shares of rupee 1 each, amounting to rupees 479 crore 86 lakh 69,940 be and is hereby declared, and that the same be paid to the equity shareholders whose names stood in the register of members as beneficial owners as at the close of business hours on August 24, 2021, as per the list provided by NSDL and CDSL in respect of shares held in electronic form and as members in the register of members of the company.
Okay. I shall now move to item number 3 relating to the reappointment of Mr. Dilip Shangvi, who retires by rotation. Resolved that Mr. Dilip Shangvi, who retires by rotation under Section 152 of the Companies Act 2013, and being eligible for reappointment, has offered himself for reappointment, be and is hereby reappointed as the director of the company liable to retire by rotation. Item number 4 relates to reappointment of Mr. Kal, who retires by rotation. Resolved that Mr. Kal Subramayan, who retires by rotation under Section 152 of the Companies Act 2013, and being eligible for reappointment, has offered himself for reappointment, be and is hereby reappointed as a director of the company liable to retire by rotation. I now proceed to the special business items. The items listed under special business are: item number 5, ordinary resolution for ratification of remuneration to cost auditors. Item number 6, special resolution for approval of reappointment and maximum remuneration to Mr. Kal as a whole-time director of the company for a further period of 2 years. Item number 7, special resolution for approval of maximum remuneration to Mr. Selish Desai for a further period of 2 years. Item number 8, ordinary resolution for appointment of Dr. Pawan Genka as an independent director of the company for a period of 5 years. Item number 9, ordinary resolution for the appointment of Ms. Rama Bijpurkar as an independent director for a period of 5 years. Item number 10, ordinary resolution for payments of commission to non-executive directors of the company up to 1% of the net profit of the company. Since the resolutions for these items, along with the explanatory statements, are already provided in the notice of this 29th annual general meeting. They are not being read out. Now we will take up questions from the shareholders who have registered to speak. We will answer the questions put before the meeting after all the speakers have asked their questions. We shall now call out the names of the shareholders who have registered themselves as speakers one by one.
Serial number 1, Yunus Rangwala.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Near my voice, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I am from Mumbai, sir. Hello, I am speaking from Mumbai, sir. My name is Mr. Yusuf Rangwala. I am thankful for a two-time dividend, 5 rupees 50 paisa and 2 rupees 20 paisa. सर एक कहना है मेरी, आपने डिविडेंड छप्पर फाड़ के दिया सर, आपने डिविडेंड सर, और अपने कंपनी सेक्रेटरी अशोक सर, जो आपने डायनेमिक हार्ड वर्किंग जो सेक्रेटरी आपसे उनसे ज्वाइन हो सकता हूँ सर, और उनकी सेक्रेटरी टीम बहुत अच्छी है सर. मैं नेक्स्ट ईयर सर अगर समझो फिजिकल मीटिंग हुआ 8/29 है, नेक्स्ट ईयर फिजिकल हुआ तो मैं बड़ौदा भी आऊंगा सर आपको मिलने के लिए. अपने दिलीप सर आपको देख के सर मुझे इतनी खुशी हुई, मेरे पास सर शब्द नहीं है, शब्द खुट रहे सर. आप इतने अच्छे काम कर रहे, सीआर एक्टिविटीज के लिए आप पुअर पीपल को भी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, और अपना कोविड-19 में फुल स्टाफ लोग ने अपने वैक्सीन ले लिया, ये जान के मुझे बहुत खुशी हुआ सर. आप जैसे कंपनी, आप स्टाफ लोग का भी अब इतना ही ख्याल रखते हैं सर, इसके हिसाब से अपनी कंपनी आज ऊपर है सर, और अपना वी आर वन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड लीडर सर सन फार्मा. सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ अपने डायबिटीज के लिए आप कोई मेडिसिन बनाते हैं, अपने हार्ट अटैक के लिए, फिर अपना ये समझो अपना एसिडिटी के लिए कोई मेडिसिन है सर? अगर है तो मुझे जानना है सर, क्या नाम है एसिडिटी के लिए सर? और एक जानना चाहता हूँ सर, अगर रहेगा तो अपना पोर्टफोलियो में कौन सा मेडिसिन है, उस बारे में डिटेल लो तो मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है सर. और सर मैं जानना चाहता हूँ सर, अभी नेक्स्ट ईयर समझो मैं आऊँ, अगर कभी समझो हो सका तो बड़ौदा सर मुझे बुलाइए, आपका सर देखना है प्लान कैसा विजिट करना है, अगर नहीं हो तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं, तो मुझे वीडियो भेज दियो भी चलेगा सर, मेरे मोबाइल पे मुझे वीडियो भेज दीजिए तो मैं देख सकता हूँ कैसा अपना प्लान चलता है. अगर नॉट पॉसिबल इट विल डू, and I wish our company sir today's a happy Govinda sir, wishing you a very all my director and my friend, wishing you a very happy Govinda sir, and I wish our company good luck, and I also thank our agent who have taken the good care and good services sir. Thank you very much, and one more time I will thank Mr. Ashok sir, who is a very dynamic secretary sir. आज उनको होने से अपनी कंपनी से ऊपर है सर, उनको अपने मेरे दो अनमोल रतन के जैसे है सर, अपने पास इतने अच्छे अनमोल रतन है, उनको सर मिलके मेरे दिल भगवान हो गए सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय गुजरात. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर.
Thank you, Mr. Rangwala. Serial number 2, Celestine Elizabeth Mascarenas.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, respected Chairman, Executive, Israel Makau, MD, Mr. Dilip S. Sangvi, other honorable directors attending this virtual meet, my fellow shareholders who are attending, my name is Mrs. Celestine Elizabeth Mascarenas. I am speaking from Mumbai. First of all, I thank the company secretary for sending me annual report and also registering me as a speaker. Thank you so much. And also I thank the platform which has given me this to speak in this virtual meet. Now I come the annual report, which is good, which is self-explanatory, very informative. I thank the secretarial team and the communication team for giving such a good document. Now I come to the working. Working is definitely good because we are getting a dividend of total 7.50 for rupee 1 share par value, which is definitely good, and market has also started giving now somewhat very good thumbs up. So keep it up, and we see our company growing further more and more, and we should Sun Pharma should again become the darling of the bosses. I am waiting for that, just like yesterday Devi's Lab and others pharmas have become like that, and our Sun Pharma should not lag behind. Now I congratulate for all the awards received, as already given in the annual report. Also, the CSR work, which I appreciate very much and keep it up because these were very difficult COVID days. Now, my query, sir, total global employees are 37,000 in 44 global manufacturing sites across the world. So, I would like to know how many were affected by COVID, recovered, fatalities, and the vaccination level, and the average age of our employees, and what is the attrition level. Number two, Ilumya is launched in Japan. Ilumya is for severe plaque psoriasis. So when it will be launched in India, because for this psoriasis, I think Biocon had also come sometime years back. Now I don't know what is the progress of that. And I mean, how effective is this medicine? Ilum, yeah. Now, what is the market share of special medicines in India? Sun Pharma has many capabilities for a variety of dosage forms such as injectable sprays, ointments, creams, hormones, drug delivery system, tablets, capsules. I would like to know where is our core competence, and which has got a very good margin, and which will be a very good demand for the future. So we are number one pharma company and the fourth largest in specialty generic pharma. So how in globally? So how do we see our Indian market for it? So our licensing agreement in SPARC, SPRC and SC D044, what is the progress of that? So any more accusation after acquiring Polo Pharma in Japan for inorganic growth? So even earlier days, I remember even 10 years back, Sun Pharma has been always acquiring some company or the other and really going very much in inorganic growth. I remember of MJ Pharma and Pradeep, so many companies which were not doing well. Our management was very good and they could do a lot of turnover.
Elizabeth, madam, just sorry to interrupt. I mean, you have crossed almost 4 minutes because there are other speakers also. So kindly shorten your speech. And
The roadmap for the next 3 years, especially from the capex side, and when will our earlier glory be restored? I thank you very much for giving me this patient hearing and wish you and your team all the best. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, madam. Serial number 3, Mr. Kaushik Samkar.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. At the outset, let me introduce myself as Kaushik Saukar from Mumbai. Good afternoon to all. I hope I'm properly audible.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, it gives immense joy to see all our beloved directors and chairmen the diet in the good health. I remember saying of our grandparents, they used to tell us health is a wealth. The saying holds good, and we see all directors who professionally I am a chartered accountant. Medically, I suffer from dystonia. Simply terms, 55% of my body is paralyzed, and this has impacted my right hand, my right leg, and stage. I have not, however, treated this as a hindrance. Despite my medical chronic condition, I successfully completed my chartered accountancy course. I was strongly believe that I am a self-reliant and self-dependent. I admire the virtue of Sun Pharma that share the same principle of making people self-reliant through your ongoing and continuous philanthropic work. you have made and are making a positive change in the society. Sir, you appreciate that despite my medical chronic conditions, I still prefer to work, support me and my family, rather than expecting free money from anyone. This shows that I am a self-reliant. Sir, if our company can show some generosity and shower some blessings, it can change my life too. Sir, I believe supporting physically every person is a necessary activity in the eyes of our company, and our company supports such a selfless act. Due to opposite, I had previously approached our company to work in the certificate area. Unfortunately, they have not progressed. I would therefore like to use this forum to reach out to you and explore avenues that we could work together. I am confident that you would find my professional achievement value add to our esteemed organization and will empathize with my condition and will support certification work. I would like to thank Board of Directors for giving me opportunity to speak and also patiently hearing me. Before I end my speech, I would like to give special thanks to entire secretary team, including Mr. Ashok Gupta. It was only their efforts which have made this event possible for me. Please accept my big thanks from bottom of the heart. I am also hopeful that company will empathize with me and will religiously consider me. Can I expect a positive response from the company? At the end, I support all the resolutions. I have already voted all the favor. I will and I have been and always will be proud shareholder of our company. I am sure I was properly audible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Salma. Serial number 4, Mr. Bimal Agarwal.
Hello, hello,
Yes,
hello,
We can hear you.
can you
Yes, we
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Good evening. First
Yes.
of all, I thank the company secretary and his team for sending me the link. And next time you don't keep it in CDSL. CDSL doesn't give their time proper full day chart. They only give half an hour before that you can join. And since I got the link, that was no problem. And I got nothing else to say. And that much. Next time I'll speak properly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
serial number 5, Mr. Mahendra Pal Bhutani.
No, there is a echo.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
I'm Santosh Bhutani. We are 10 minutes on this.
There's a
Can't hear
disturbance.
you.
Do have- Sir, we can't hear you. There is a lot of disturbance, or you can reconnect otherwise. We take up later.
Yes.
Is he reconnecting? Is he reconnecting? Fifth, we were unable to hear. So we will go to the sixth, then we can connect later.
Serial number 6, SP Besania.
Chairman, sir. Yeah, can you see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, well, I'm asking from Bombay. Sir, welcome Mr. Pawan Goenka and Ms. Rama Bijapurkar. Both are capable people and they'll contribute to the company. Sir, I congratulate the entire management on excellent profit before exceptional items and tax. Every time exceptional items reduce our profits, never increase them. So Taro has paid rupees 3,000 crore to Department of Justice for conduct between 2013 and 15. Was Taro a subsidiary from 13 to 15? If it was not a subsidiary, is it not possible to claim from previous owners? If it was our subsidiary, why this conduct of our subsidiary? The company has increased dividend from 4 rupees to 7.5 rupees in spite of reduced profits. What do you see in the company? Any exceptional thing which you see in the company to be so optimist to increase the dividend almost double? The promoter holding is 54%. So what are your plans for increasing? Sir, we have an investment in Zenotech. So what are your plans for Zenotech? So in skin segment, your products only in clinical dermatology, not in cosmetology. Products like chemical peels, botox, fillers, face wash. Companies like L'Oreal are making a lot of money. So why can't we go into such items? Of course, you'll have to spend on advertisement. And sir, do you have any vaccines for COVID? Because ours is the biggest company, so we should have something for COVID. Sir, thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Esania.
Thank you.
Serial number 7, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf.
Yes, Santosh ji.
हेलो ठीक है 1 मिनट अभी अनम्यूट किया सर उन्होंने
ओके सर ओके
यार मैं फिर क्या कर रहे थे मजाक कर रहे हैं कभी अनम्यूट कर रहे कभी इनको बोलिए होल्ड करने के लिए
नहीं वी आर लिसनिंग यू सर वी कैन हियर
नहीं ठीक है सर आदरणीय सभापति जी उपस्थित विदेशी सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों मेरा नाम संतोष कुमार श्राफ सर मैं कलकत्ता से बोल रहा हूँ सर्वप्रथम आप सभी को नमस्कार सर आशा करता हूँ आप हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर हैं जितने भी अधिकारीगण हैं जितने भी कर्मचारी भाई बहन हैं इस कोविड के पीरियड में वह और उनके पूरा परिवार सुरक्षित और स्वस्थ होंगे सर मैं एक तो हमारे चेयरमैन को फूल देना चाहता था लेकिन मजबूरी है मैं फिजिकल मीटिंग में तो नहीं दे सकता तो हम चेयरमैन से रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं चेयरमैन से आपके अच्छे परफॉर्म के लिए मैं देना चाहता हूँ तो ये फूल मेरे जरा आप स्वीकार कर लीजिएगा हाथ जोड़ से आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है इसको आप भाग्यशाली स्वीकार कर लीजिए धन्यवाद सर और सर हमारे सेक्रेटरी टीम को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ काफी अच्छा काम किया सर और सर मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कहूंगा मैंने प्रश्न लिख के भेज दिए थे शायद सेक्रेटरी ने आपको दे दिए होंगे मैंने उसमें प्रश्न पूछे पूछा अपने आरडी डिपार्टमेंट में अभी कितने प्रोजेक्ट और लेटेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट कौन सा अभी बाजार में आने वाला है एक मैंने रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के लिए पूछा कि आपने रेन हार्वेस्टिंग के बारे में क्या कदम उठाया जिससे फ्रेश पानी का यूज कम हो एक रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के बारे में पूछा कि रिन्यूएबल के लिए क्या कदम उठा रहे हैं आप क्या सोलर पैनल लगाए हैं या कहीं विंड पावर की व्यवस्था की तो बताने का करें जिससे कि हम सप्लायर पर डिपेंड कम हो और लोड शेडिंग में भी अपने को काम चलाने में तकलीफ नहीं हो एक सेकंड मैंने सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक के रिड्यूस करने के बारे में पूछा है और लास्ट में मैंने पूछा सर वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं अपने वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट में जरूरी है ज्यादा से ज्यादा वुमेन को काम दिया जाए तो अच्छा रहेगा और मैं समझता हूँ आजकल के जमाने में वुमेन किसी से कम नहीं है जैसा आप जानते भी अभी ओलंपिक और पैरा ओलंपिक में वुमेन ने सिल्वर मेडल और गोल्ड मेडल ला के अपना नाम कमाया सर तो मैं चाहूंगा उनको एम्पावरमेंट किया जाए और सर अपने 100% कर्मचारी को वैक्सीन हो गया कि नहीं हो गया उसके बारे में बताइएगा नहीं हुआ तो उसके लिए क्या कदम उठाया और ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए भगवान से मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर भाई हैं जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण हैं जितने भी कर्मचारीगण हैं और उनकी फैमिली इस कोविड में सुरक्षित रहे और भगवान उनके लिए फाइनल 2000 हैप्पीनेस, वेलनेस, प्रोस्पेरिटी और सेफ्टी के साथ बीते। तो सर एक कामना करता हूँ और लास्ट में कामना ये करता हूँ सर, ये बीटो कम्युनिटी कंटिन्यू रखिएगा तो कल तक से मैं ज्वाइन कर सकता हूँ। अदरवाइज क्या वहाँ जाना बड़े कष्टकर होती है, फिजिकल मीटिंग करना। जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार सर।
Thank you, Mr. Saraf. Next, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Gola.
Number 9, number 8 is not there, so number 9 will go. Nine is also not there.
So number 10, Mr. Bharat Shah.
हेलो हेलो
Hello.
हाँ
Yes, Mr.
हाँ, आवाज आ रही है ना?
Yes.
ओके ओके। मेरे बाद में सर भरत शाह बात करेंगे।
Okay.
ओके। माननीय चेयरमैन श्री इसराइल जी मकाऊ जी और एमडी श्री दिलीप भाई और अन्य माननीय डायरेक्टर्स, सर मैं बम्बई से स्मिता शाह बात कर रही हूँ। नमस्कार, जय श्री कृष्ण सर। सर आज हम आपको सेकंड टाइम वीसी थ्रू मिल रहे हैं। तो सर पहले तो मैं अपने सालों से गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस देते आ रहे हैं और बैलेंस शीट भी बढ़िया फुल इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ बनाई है और आज आपके साथ हमें जो बात करने का मौका भी दिया, जिसके लिए मैं उनकी गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस के लिए मैं कंपनी सेक्रेटरी श्री सुनील भाई और उनके साथ श्री अशोक भाई को मैं बहुत ही मेहनती और हार्डवर्क स्माइलिश काफी सालों से अच्छी सेवा देते आ रहे हैं, तो उन दोनों को मैं दिल से मैं धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन करती हूँ। उनकी सर मैं उनके साथ जो देवांशी यंग स्टार, उसको भी मैं धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि वो भी अच्छा रिस्पेक्ट कर शेयर होल्डरों को अच्छी सर्विस देती है सर। तो पूरी सेक्रेटरी टीम को मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन करती हूँ और बेस्ट विशेष देती हूँ। और सर आपका जो ग्रोथ सेल्स और एबिटा नेटवर्क सभी में सर देखा तो बहुत बहुत बढ़ोतरी नजर आ रही है सर। और उसके साथ उसके अलावा सर ज्यादा करके आप सबकी सभी की सर आपकी और दिलीप भाई की जो बहुत ही स्माइलिश और कॉन्फिडेंशियल फोटो जो बैलेंस शीट में मैंने देखी, तो आपने हमारी खुशी बढ़ा दी है सर, हमारा प्राउड भी बढ़ा दिया है सर। बहुत अच्छी बात है सर। और सर तो इसी के साथ में आपको बधाई देते हुए अभिनंदन कर देना चाहूंगी और अभिनंदन देते हुए कहूंगी कि अपनी सन फार्मा कंपनी ने भी अच्छा वर्क करके कंपनी ने पूरे वर्ल्ड में नाम बनाया है सर। अपनी सन फार्मा कंपनी ने कोविड के समय में भी अच्छा योगदान दिया है और अच्छा वर्क किया है सर। आगे के हमारे ये हालांकि परिस्थिति को ध्यान में रखकर आगे के फीचर्स में और आपने क्या क्या प्लान बनाए जरूर बताए। बाकी तो हमें पूरा विश्वास है आप पर कि अपनी सन फार्मा कंपनी कभी भी कोई भी कार्य में पीछे नहीं रहेगी, न तो रहेगी सर। आपने तो हमेशा मेहनत और हार्ड वर्क के साथ न्यूट्रली कंपनी को एक्सेलेंट वर्क के साथ पूरे इंटरनेशनल वर्ल्ड में नाम कमाकर आगे बढ़ाते आए हो और जरूर फ्यूचर्स में भी चौगुनी सफलता के साथ जरूर फार्मा में सभी फार्मा कंपनी में नाम टिकाकर एक्सेलेंट वर्क से आगे ही रहेंगे सर। आपने काफी सारी CSR एक्टिविटीज भी अच्छी की है सर, जो काफी सारे प्रोग्राम्स आपने हेल्थ केयर, एजुकेशन, सैनिटेशन ऐसे काफी सारे आपने प्रोग्राम्स बनाए और आपने जो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर का प्रोजेक्ट भी बनाया रूरल एरिया में, तो बहुत अच्छी बात है सर। सर उन सभी का आशीर्वाद भी आपके साथ रहा है और आपने जो डिविडेंड शेयर होल्डर को दिल खोलकर दिया है, तो आज मैं भी दिल खोलकर आपको मैं धन्यवाद करती हूँ सर। और सर मेरे आगे जो संतोष जी सर अपने प्रीवियस स्पीकर ने बताया कि वुमेन पावर को आप बढ़ाए, जरूर सपोर्ट करें, तो सर मैं भी एक लेडी के नाते मैं ये जरूर कहूंगी कि वुमेन पावर को आप जरूर सहयोग करें और उन्हें भी आगे बढ़ाए। और सर ज्यादा बात ना करते हुए हमारा हरदम हर पल साथ आपको रहा है, तो आज भी पूरा भरोसा रखते हुए मैं आज के सभी रिजोल्यूशन में मैं फुल्ली सपोर्ट करती हूँ और आगे की बेस्ट टू बेस्ट फ्यूचर्स की हार्दिक शुभकामना करती हूँ और आशा करती हूँ कि ईश्वर से प्रार्थना करती हूँ कि नेक्स्ट ईयर AGM में आपको हंसते चेहरे और भरपूर खुशियों के साथ हम फिजिकल शायद मिल सके सर। तब तक आप सभी स्वस्थ और सुरक्षित रहे और अपना अपना ख्याल रखें। आने वाले सभी त्योहारों की शुभकामना देती हूँ। और सर लास्टली एक रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी सर कि सर बैलेंस शीट अगर हो सके तो हमें नेक्स्ट ईयर से तो हार्ड कॉपी भेजे, और इस साल की रहेगी तो हार्ड कॉपी हमें भेजिए, क्योंकि सर ये मोबाइल में या इसमें बहुत देखने की दिक्कत आती है। हम सीनियर सिटीजन को हमें बहुत तकलीफ होती है, आंखों की भी तकलीफ रहती है, तो पूरी हम एक तो खुलती नहीं है सर पूरी बैलेंस शीट की 300-400 पाने की। तो सर हार्ड कॉपी रहेगी तो जो हमें आसान रहती है पढ़ने के लिए। तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, तो अभी तो न्यूज़पेपर भी आते हैं सर, तो मुझे लगता है सर नेक्स्ट ईयर से हो सके तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट की आप जरूर हार्ड कॉपी भेजने की कृपा करें सर। बाकी तो सर हमारा फुल्ली सपोर्ट है। धन्यवाद सर। सर भरत साहब बात करें।
माननीय चेयरमैन सर, आवाज आता है ना सर? अशोक भाई आवाज આવે છે ને? माननीय चेयरमैन श्री इजराइल मैकव जी, एमडी श्री दिलीप भाई संघवी जी और अन्य मान्यवर डायरेक्टर। सर मेरा नाम भरत शाह। सर मैं बरसों से आपका शेयर होल्डर रहा हूँ, बरसों से एजीएम अटेंड करता हूँ। मेरी सर कोई क्वेरी नहीं है, क्योंकि आपने सर बरसों से कंपनी को आगे बढ़ाया है, बढ़ाते रहे हो और अव्वल नंबर पर कंपनी को पहुंचाइए। सर सब बातों में व्यवस्थित बढ़ोतरी है सर, रिजर्व सरप्लस, नेटवर्क, सर बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर, सब बातों, मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, सब बातों में सब बातों में सर एकदम व्यवस्थित बढ़ोतरी है सर। और डिविडेंड भी आपने छप्पर फाड़ के दिया है सर। बहुत बहुत सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। सर हमेशा शेयर होल्डर को रिस्पेक्ट दिया है आपने, शेयर होल्डर का इसको ख्याल रखा है, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। और ईश्वर बोर्ड को प्रार्थना है अपनी सन फार्मा दिन दोगुनी रात चौगुनी आगे बढ़े सर। सर सारे अवार्ड्स के लिए भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। और सर सीएसआर एक्टिविटी भी बहुत व्यवस्थित चल रही है और एक आशीर्वाद का काम है और बहुत व्यवस्थित अच्छी सीएसआर एक्टिविटी के लिए भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। और 5 इयर्स के सर फ्यूचर वो प्लान हो सके तो जरूर बतावाना सर। और सर हार्ड वर्किंग कंपनी सेक्रेटरी श्री सुनील भाई अजमेरा जी, श्री अशोक भाई भूता जी और उनकी टीम के देवान सिंह और पूरी सेक्रेटरी टीम को सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। शेयर होल्डर को हमेशा रिस्पेक्ट देते, शेयर होल्डर की कोई क्वेरी है तो सोल्व करते, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस दे रहे हैं, पूरी टीम को धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। और इसी माध्यम में भी जुड़ने के लिए बहुत दिक्कतें आती है, तो हमको पूरी सेक्रेटरी टीम ने बहुत हेल्प की है मीटिंग जुड़ाने के लिए, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। सर हो सके तो आगे वाले साल में बोनस के लिए मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है तो जरूर सोचना सर। सर नेक्स्ट ईयर कोविड-19 कंट्रोल में आने के बाद फेस टू फेस हो सके तो जरूर मीटिंग रखेंगे और रखना सर। तो आप एक आत्मीय भाव रहेगा और फेस टू फेस अपन मिलेंगे सर। बाकी सब रिजोल्यूशन में सर मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट है सर और भगवान को प्रार्थना है कंपनी अपनी बहुत आगे बढ़े सर। सर थैंक यू, जय हिंद सर। सब रिजोल्यूशन में मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट है सर। थैंक यू सर, जय हिंद, जय श्री कृष्ण सर, जय श्री कृष्ण सर।
थैंक यू स्मिता बेन, भरत भाई।
सीरियल नंबर 12 सुरेखा शरद कुमार शाह, शरद कुमार शाह।
Sir, can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yes.
And can you see my video?
No, video we can't see.
Oh. Chairman and managing directors and the company secretary and compliance officer, I could not hear your speech because I was in RPG life science meeting. Once that is over, I came to this meeting and he has given me a very good point which I can add in your meeting, sir. Another thing, sir, I have seen a photo, the video of CS and CO, but I'm not able to recognize, means differentiate who is Ajmera and who is Buddha because that name is coming, that company compliance. Yes. So I'm not, the name is not coming. So we can do better the next time because I first time I came to know that company is having company secretary. Earlier I was thinking all the time that Ashok Bhutta is the only company secretary. Here we have got two separate. One is company secretary, one is company officer and compliance officer. Sir, I refer page number 17. You are saying that you are #1 company in India because of the revenue. Then page number 27, again you are saying that you are number one in generic in India with 31% of revenue of ours is from generic, and our market share in India is 8.2 in generic. Sir, in R&D, we spend 2149 crores, which is 2.5 times of Cipla. And now we have got new director from Mahindra and Mahindra, and he will tell you what is the difference and what is the necessity of R&D. And the R&D is the heart of pharma and auto industry. So he will initiate you to spend more and more money on R&D, sir. Sir, our debit equity ratio is 0.08, and that what you said that this time we have reduced the reduction in debit, so that's a good thing. And finally, debit equity ratio is reduced. And I refer page number 22, 25, 31, 32. It is for USA. USA, we have got business of our 30% revenue from USA, and most of the companies are doing business in USA because the profit margins are more, sir. And we have got three finished dosage. You have got a location in Boston, California, or Seattle. Another thing, sir, this RPG life science, what they don't have any presence in USA, and the reason was very clear. They say that doing business in USA is very difficult. Getting approval from FDA of USA is very difficult, and we have to spend more money. So that is why right now they are not in USA business, but definitely they will go into the USA business is definitely good business because the profit margins are very high, sir. And page number 62, you talked about biomass briquettes that we use in place of HSD and furnace oil. But what is happening that in all plants, still we are using HSD and furnace oil. So my request is that we should avoid all this HSD and FO in a pharma company to have a clean pharma company, and definitely this will be our first priority. And the solar is definitely a priority, but it is next, not the first. And when our foreign exchange earning is 5,418 crores, is a good foreign exchange, net foreign exchange. The PAT is 2,903 crores, but our employment cost is 6,862 crores. And here now we have got new director from ICICI, a financial expert. Definitely you ask her opinion and how you can decrease employment cost or how you can increase PAT, whatever way, so that the PAT is always more than the employment cost. And another thing, sir, I hold shares in one demat account in the same order. I hold in folio number S90637, and I have received one letter from compliance officer. There is an unclaimed dividend, so that I have submitted all the documents for needful. Then what message I got from your secretarial department and the legal time that it is okay, we'll do needful, but do not raise this issue in NCLT meeting which was conducted in March 2021. And after that, what has happened? I have received a mail from Link Time saying that there is no unclaimed dividend. So I don't have anything on this. But what happened? This is the same thing is happened with Mahindra Financial, and what they have done on 2nd August, they have given me a confirmation from company secretary and compliance officer from 2005. Complete statement is there, what dividend I have received in each year, and no unclaimed dividend. Also, this particular letter I have already forwarded to you. Another thing, sir, similar letter, I have received from Larsen and Toubro from 2002 to 2021. How I received the dividend and there is no unclaimed. So these people are confirming that is no unclaimed dividend, and this will help us. So I request company secretary, compliance officer to write a letter to me in a similar line and tell me that there is no unclaimed dividend. And another thing, sir, why we depend totally on RTI? Because once unclaimed dividend, you have got some website. From that you can make out what is unclaimed dividend or not unclaimed dividend. And another thing in unclaimed dividend, not in your case, but in other case, why shareholder cannot claim dividend? The reason was very different, because the checks doesn't come on the name of the shareholder. It comes on somebody else. So he cannot encash. So that also you must look into it. And I'm very happy that page number 74, you want to take care of the shareholder, and you mention that you remind shareholders every year what is unclaimed dividend, but that is not sufficient. You have to analyze why unclaimed dividend remains, and once you analyze, then only action can be taken. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, and I request you to request your company secretary and CEO to write to me that whatever dividend I have received last so many years, statements like Financial, like Larsen Toubro. Thank you very much, sir, giving me opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Sir. Serial number 14, Ashif Kumar Pathak.
So 13 is not there, Mr. Manjit Singh. So
Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes,
sir, we can hear you very well.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak, respected Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow members, company secretary staffs present at AGM of Sun Pharma and Industries Limited. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak. My esteemed gratitude to Company Secretary Mr. Sunil Ajmera to give me chance to speak and send me the balance sheet very well in advance. Sir, in government in budget session financial year 22 declared boost in health infra. So with Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative and the domestic business from my company share 33% and international is 67%. For this strategy, what is the main strategy company is taking initiative to enhance domestic business? Because domestic market is very business and also US market is very big market and international market is big market, but also impacted in pandemic. This is my first view. Sir, any future buyback plan? My previous speaker also mentioned issue of bonus shares. Foreign exchange earnings is very nice than previous years. Also, sir, cost of raw materials prices and some geopolitical issue where drugs, raw materials import from China is very reasonable cost. So any impact in our business operation, if possible, throw some highlights. Reliance Industries Limited also innovating vaccines and also in ongoing. So my company's any plan for the vaccine drive. Last year also mentioned about this. Standalone net profit margin also came down previous year and revenue also higher than previous year, but profit after tax is down, also consolidated mostly down, because I don't know that what the subsidiary companies are giving the financial support to my company. If any subsidiaries is good in performance, so what strategy my company is taking, or either potential subsidiaries acquiring. And sir, also sir, my last question is capex in top priorities mentioned in annual report financial year 22. Our capex program, with capex, the capex incurred, if possible, show some highlights. And sir, finally, also we are getting good dividend. Apart from this pandemic and financial year performance, thanks to our management team for rewarding dividend 7 rupees 50 paisa, and also praying to God for good health to everybody. And financial year 22 is very good financial performance and capital market appreciation. Also a debt-free company, because US also my company repaid debt. US dollar 580 million mentioned. Very nice initiative from my company. I am thanking the management team for this debt reducing policies. Thanking you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pathak. Serial number 15, Sayantan Bhomik, authorized representative for Pine Bridge Investments.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Respected Chairman, sir, members of the board, and my fellow shareholders, I'm Shanthan Bhomik, and I represent PineBridge Investments. At the outset, I'd like to thank all the employees and the management of the company for ensuring uninterrupted supply of pharmaceutical ingredients in these trying times. Thank you. I would like to now present my views on a subject that we at PineBridge Investments feels very strongly about. It was universally understood that an institutional investor's main objective and an investing company's main obligation is to maximize returns for shareholders. However, with the rise of responsible investing, considerations such as environment, social, and governance are increasingly gaining importance. ESG considerations are slowly but surely becoming an integral part of an investor's fiduciary duty. ESG considerations can relate to ESG reporting or disclosure, ESG performance, that is how a company is performing in ESG domains, and ESG score or rating. The European Union has recently come out with regulations governing the conduct of companies for environmental, social, and governance-related issues. These regulations, commonly known as SFDR, Sustainable Finance Disclosure Regulations, have come into force as of the 10th of March 2021. The EU financial regulators have drafted technical standards on the parameters that companies need to disclose. This includes a set of mandatory disclosures and additional environmental and social disclosures. In this regard, it is heartening to see the excellent and detailed sustainability report published by the company. I hope that we can keep on enhancing our efforts on sustainable business, and our sustainability report sets benchmarks for the industry. On a related point, I wanted to know if the company has set any deadline for becoming carbon neutral. A number of corporates in India have announced timelines for becoming carbon neutral. As leader of the pharmaceutical industry, we should too. With this, I would like to once again thank the company for the opportunity to present my views at this AGM, and I would wish the company all the very best for future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayantan.
So all questions are over now. The speakers are completed. So, Khalid or Mr. Murli, you will be responding to the questions.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I wish to thank all the shareholders for expressing their views and sharing some of their concerns and suggestions. We will try and respond to all the questions. In case if something is missed, I think you can get in touch with Mr. Bhuta or Sunil Ajmera, so they can share the information with you.
So there was a first question was around the type of different drugs that we manufacture. So we manufacture large number of specialty products, but most of the products that we manufacture are prescription products. So you need prescription of a specialist to get the product from the retail store. So I can't share the name of the product specifically on the call, but we have a very large market leader in pantoprazole. We are number one in terms of share of prescription in diabetology. And we will continue to focus on growing this business going forward. So there were questions about the number of employees and number of employees who were vaccinated. I think we have different levels of vaccination in different factories, but I am happy to share with you that it is anywhere between 60 to 85 to 90%. And the reason why it is lower in some of the locations is because people below 45 were only vaccinated recently as per the government guidance, and their second dose is not yet due. But as soon as that becomes due, we will see that all the employees and their family members will get it attended to. Attrition, I am also happy to share with you that we have one of the, or possibly the lowest attrition in the whole pharma industry in India. And last year we had less than 5% total attrition. There was a question about Ilumya in India. So we filed for Ilumya registration in India. Hopefully, once we get approval for the product, we should launch the product. Our core competence is to sell specialty products in India and emerging market, and in US our core business is specialty generics as well as selling branded specialty products in dermatology and ophthalmology and oncology. SCD-044 was licensed from Spark, and as we have shared with people, phase 2 clinical study for the product for psoriasis as well as atopic dermatitis is continuing. As a company, I think our focus is to find a way to grow in each of the business that we are present in. I heard there was some challenge in terms of my being able to hear. Unfortunately, the shareholder talked about some movement disorder and some challenges that he is facing. So if you need some help in identifying a good neurologist who is an expert on movement disorder, we can suggest some names. There are also suggestions about using a site other than CDSL for organizing the call. We will consider that and study that. There was some question about the penalty paid by Spark. I mean, not Spark, but Taro. I think the shareholders need to keep in perspective that the penalty paid by Taro is not an admission of guilt. However, in the opinion of the Taro management, they felt that instead of carrying the uncertainty and risk of litigation and its negative impact on the business, they felt it is better that we settle the case with the concerned authority. As on today, promoters own 54% of the company and they have not disclosed any intention for increasing shareholding. There is suggestion for introducing drugs or products for cosmetology and COVID vaccine, which we will consider in our business meetings. There were also suggestions about empowerment of women as well as rainwater harvesting. So as a company, I think we have a strong agenda for gender diversity and empowerment of women in different parts of our organization, and we will continue to focus on that. There is a general appreciation of the performance of the company and the dividend which is paid. So I thank you for the appreciation. There's also suggestions for bonus as well as face-to-face meeting. There's also some suggestions about buyback. So we will consider all of these options in our management meeting. Some suggestions about the importance of R&D in the pharmaceutical business, and thank you for pointing that out. And also, I think as a company, we believe that our focus should be on raising the return on equity by improving overall profitability, not by adding to the return on equity by raising further debt. There is some confusion about unclaimed dividend. Mr. Gupta will look at that. There is also a suggestion from Pinewood in terms of increased focus on ESG as well as social responsibility. I am happy that the first report that we've come out with, it's something that you find positive. I can only promise you from our side that we will continue to focus on improving our performance. And you would have seen that even though this is the first time that we've come out with the ESG report, but looking at the consistent year-to-year trend over last 3 years, in spite of our not disclosing the numbers, we were focusing on improving our overall performance on ESG as well as on governance. We will consider your suggestions for coming out with a plan for becoming carbon neutral. That will require a comprehensive analysis and study, but we will take that seriously. So I once again thank all the shareholders for their interest. And in case if I have overlooked to respond to some specific question, please get in touch with Mr. Bhuta or Sunil Ajmera. And yeah, I think there was also multiple suggestions about the face-to-face meeting. We would also hope that at some point in time in near future, we can have a face-to-face meeting. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shangvi. We have answered the questions before the meeting, however, before the meeting. However, if we inadvertently have missed to respond to any question, we should address them separately. The e-voting will remain open until 15 minutes from the conclusion of the meeting to enable shareholders to vote. I request the scrutinizer to complete the scrutinizing process and then submit the report to me or to the person authorized by me. The scrutinizer's report and the e-voting results will be submitted to stock exchanges within 48 hours of conclusion of the meeting and will also be placed on the company's and CDSL's website. Also, the results will be displayed on on the notice board of the company at its registered office and corporate office. I thank one and all for the attending of this meeting, and we can now conclude this 29th annual general meeting of the company. Thank you.
Thank you.
I propose a vote of thanks to the chair, and with the permission of the chair, declare this meeting as concluded. Thank you all.
Thank you.